Back once again, Apolo Anton Ono, the gold medalist, speed skating star, with us once again. We're talking about the Olympics, skating, talking about also Dancing with the Stars as well. How did you get involved with that? Obviously, they like people who are athletic. They like people who are fit. They like people who have big names. So you qualify all across the board.
You know, initially when they had first approached me, in my head, I said, no way. There is no way that I'm going to go on the show. I don't want to dance in front of one of my classes in high school, you know, let alone in front of millions of people watching the show. Was able to talk to my management team, talk to my friends and family, and made a decision. You know what? I think I'll try it. It's a new challenge. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into, to be totally honest with you. I didn't know the actual scheduling, the grueling hard work that was involved. You know, I'm accustomed to hard work, and I'm used to that. I'm no stranger.
This was tougher
different.
than that?
This was just different. Yeah. You know, I was placed on a stage doing something totally out of my comfort zone, dancing, doing these weird little arm movements that, you know, as a 25-year-old, I'm just not comfortable doing, and you know, doing some of these dances that I hadn't even heard of, let alone had to perfect them and dance in front of millions of people and get judged on them while smiling at the same time. So it was almost like I had to, you know, Julianne, my partner, she really taught me how to dig deep inside and basically perform for people on a different stage. And so it was almost like we were doing a little bit of acting and she was the actress. And, you know? Well,
I mean, you come in with the advantage, though. First of all, you're used to moving quickly and to being in what some might consider to be awkward positions. You know, the other thing is that you're used to performing for the crowd. You know, you're used to being out there and having all eyes on you.
But I know what I'm doing at that point. In short track, I'm totally comfortable. That's my comfort zone. You know, when I'm in the moment, when I'm in the zone, I can block everything out. I can bring it all in. It's like a light switch. You know, I'm very comfortable in that environment, regardless of how nervous or the pressures. Being on stage, I don't know what kind of weird shoes I'm wearing for the dancing show. I don't know what kind of weird outfits they have picked out for me. And I'm dancing to some music with, you know, a beautiful girl who I've never really, you know, had contact with. It's just, it was an experience.
It's delightful.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. The show was a lot of fun.
Did the rehearsals and the grueling number of hours you put in rehearsal, did that give you that same level of comfort ultimately during the performance that you would get, say, you know, as you go through the prepping to speed skate? After a while, you get to the point where you reach that level of what some refer to as the unconscious competence, where you just know how to do it and turn the light switch on.
I think
Did you get that way with the dancing as well?
I think probably halfway through the first season, with my season on the show, I started to become more comfortable. You know, I was used to the routine, and
did you start to like it?
Started to like it. I started to enjoy performing for people. And I was like, wow, this is what it's like. You know, actually doing this on camera. You know, having people watch me, and the interaction I was able to get with the fans who come to watch the show live and those watching and viewing on TV from their homes was amazing.
You start to pick up the energy from it all.
The energy, and regardless of, you know, if you make a mistake, you know how to cover it up. You know how to react with it, and you know, the entire experience for me was amazing. It really taught me how to showcase my personality. Otherwise, I would not have. You know, for so long, people have known Apolo Ono as only basically the short track Olympic athlete who's medaled, and this was an opportunity for me to really show people who I really am outside, you know, with the helmet off. And
it's liberating in a way. It also opens. You think it opens doors for you? I mean, you
absolutely.
You view yourself now as Hollywood?
Well, a little bit. You know, I think the opportunities are there, and given the right options and the right paths, and if it aligns itself with me and it makes sense, then absolutely, why not? You know, I've always said, and I was always taught from my father that, you know, opportunities come along people's paths, and it's up to you to take them. Some people pass them on, some people go right by, and I've had a lot of really blessed opportunities come my way, and it's just up to me to analyze them.
You've also been, I mean, the flip side of the opportunity thing is you have to be able to take them, but you also have to have that combination of natural talent and also the desire to really work at it.
Sure. And I think that's what sports had taught me. And the character that I have built from sport is going to benefit me throughout the rest of my life, through whatever business ventures I'm involved in, you know, schedule handle, you know, whatever I'm doing in my life. Sports has taught me so much, because there's nothing else in this world that I've been able to come across that puts you head to head with your greatest fears, concerns, own demons, and self-doubts than sports. I mean, when I'm at the Olympic Games, I have to perform within the next 2 minutes. And I have no choice. If I don't perform well, or if I make a mistake, I'm not going to perform well. If I go head-to-head with all these obstacles and I overcome them, the result's pretty clear. And that's the beauty of sport. That's the purity of it.
When you go on the ice, are you convinced, do you have to be convinced each time you're going to win?
You know, I think it's different for every single athlete. For me personally, I'm not really concentrating on the win rather than just the process. You know, I've always been taught, and I've always kind of lived by the model that, you know what, I need to prepare myself 110% for a competition. And if I'm able to step to the line and say, you know what, I am ready, and I've done every single thing I can, and I finish the race, let's say I don't win, I can walk out of that ice rink with my head held high. Knowing
you did your best.
That's more important to me.
But do you, you know, for those of us who had, you know, much lower level amateur careers in any sort of sport at all, there was a sense that, you know, as a sprinter, a mediocre one, if somebody was coming up on me, or if I saw somebody ahead of me, the adrenaline was there, and the guns would fire up.
You have hunger. Yeah.
Do you find that as well in races? That if you
Absolutely. I mean, there's all type of sensory triggers that happen during a race, and you know, everything can happen from when I'm in front. Sometimes I know who's behind me, second, third, and fourth, without even looking. I know what country they're from. I know what they're doing. And it's almost like a sixth sense, you know, where I can just feel, you know, where these shadows are at and the energy moving behind me. It's actually pretty spectacular.
And it provides that extra oomph sometimes as well?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
Do you have a nemesis? It always seems the great ones always have somebody else that's right there. That's
Sure. I think there's no one person rather than there's countries in our sport. I mean, Korea has always had very, very dominant and strong skaters. They have such an incredible amount of depth. They have some of the best coaching in the world, and technically they're one of the most proficient. Canada has an outstanding array of speed skaters. They always have. Some of the best have ever put skates on. China has thousands of juniors waiting to come up in the ranks.
But there's a lot of turnover in all those teams, yet there you are.
There I am.
Once again.
Yeah.
Anthony, our guest, will be right back in a moment. Don't go away.